Yo, Joe. Connet say. Yo, Michelle. Yeah, when there. Yeah, as a bit here, maybe, sir. Just make a stomach new kakra. Yeah. What was it? And one near you come on. And now, Cassa, who will interview be next week, you know? Yeah. That's it. And I'm quite one of the coffee and I'm queer. Yeah, a little bit of research and I make Cassa. That's what I make Cassa. I also be beyond question beyond with story format, you know. Yeah, a more specific term, man. I'm a friend of the star interview approach. You know, agent homa situation. Oh, so you know, a task, you know, a action, and a RNA the result. You know, approach we know. Question behind a baby sound. I also describe it situation first. Wow. To describe a situation now. Situation what was the problem? And I said there and there cause. Wow. Who describe it we are now called task. Task in here. No what you man say what was your responsibility? So it will describe your responsibility now, specific responsibility and also now. Now call action. Action banner would take here. Amount to me in the expected and I said result outcome now more which will be the R no. So yes, and you know question piano I also the approach way there a two trim STAR a two trim. The beside question be I say tell us about a time you solve the problem. I also describe the situation first. I also describe the problem first. Hopefully, what I now call the specific road, which is the task, you know. And I know what call action I will take here, you know. And I know what call results, you know. So what I say, yeah, it's you know situation which we describe here. Because oh, I remember it like. So the menu it doesn't have to be say when I will solve a problem by yourself. So that's if it's my area uko can solve it. But interview no uko can only it only you know obi to me test this as some now can and the crown and the crack and I have partial truth and I have partial truth. So I will lie. It's one I wouldn't no crown I walk. I said baby Ghana for the humbleness into the customer you can do we did this, we did that. But we know you ever say a whistle again our year tell us okay I know said okay I and we do because we feel say you are being boastful. But your boastfulness so come hano obi adwane num. So that I say to obi adwane num there also where there also do num kakra. It's you know what's that situation now? What Mark I said okay during the time I was in the lab and then a deviation occurred. Deviation occurred no abia there was a specific step and the scientist and after the operator had to add abia let's say 50 grams of EDC chemical and operator there instead of 50 grams about 150 grams. So that was a problem. I see. So what give you the context of the problem? What describing the problem? It would describe it. Yeah, now what task? Task here. What was your specific role? Is there a specific role? So yeah, co-scientist, you know. But in this scenario, no, what person would describe it, to fit in that scenario that we're given. It's, you know, what make I say, oh, what specific role, no, was to either help your co-worker and I say salvage the problem, well, or document it in a way so that we will know what to do when we go for meetings. It's from all now called action. Action can be say action when I'll take care of solving a problem. To which like I said, okay, when you notice the problem, you stop the reaction. It's maybe a reaction and a question. You stopped it, you informed management, and I say you informed your supervisor. And to inform your supervisor, a good action I'll take care because maybe I want to stop it. Processes and a question, okay, a be escalate, aquafa, so many undesired results about it will stop a reaction. I will inform your supervisor. That was a great action. What did I say? And then what I go a step further and talk about extra things. How we what to solve a problem. And see what I say, okay, to solve the problem, you went a step further. You read the SOP, you read the protocol. And you realize that the problem was coming from the protocol. It's a protocol now, or the reaction it has a mistake in it. Instead of saying 50 grams, protocol actually 150 grams. It's because of that, you identify the problem now. What protocol? What I say? And what I say, real. That's what I say. I. What I say? You say I'm, you know, like you did something by yourself, I improve the situation. I know I say what I say real now, you are trying to be humble, but I know humbleness in the happen. That's what I because I found I know who you are. I want to be nobody is there to because so acquire no chat for claim it as your own, man. Because I found the problem in the SOP, I informed management, we corrected it. And when we corrected it, the problem didn't happen again. That's what they want to cry. It's another action and action now take care. To take care action, then what was the result? What that would be the R. Remember, interview star interview approach. Because you and I make us say, actually a situational, a task and an area action and an area outcome and a result. It's I don't know if a result until what was the result? The result was that none of this of this deviation of this kind happened again. It's an CBA. And I said when you reported the situation to a supervisor, you're able to stop the outcome be an undesired be a product. So I said client safety and identity, potency, everything was great. Wow. That would be the results for your task. It's okay interview no kwa there. I mean, you also question be you have to use the STAR approach: situation, task, action, results. Okay, it's identity. There's a prepared and make at least Obama new question be make me as after one. Yeah, they did do yeah, you make yourself say how do you resolve task? How do you resolve conflict? Oh, if you are resolving a conflict that but I want to know answer. So I will lie. I want to know answer. I didn't there. What who conflict be you've been around so long. Even graduate school, because I work graduate school be a problem this year. And I'm a boy. And I will share how I for resolve it. Would you claim that story as your own? And what claim now if besides say tell us a time you solve the conflict. And go for stories of market culture. And also what can be actually more interview to say, what now you say, what now you say, what now you say. So I'm lying. And to start here, like I say, situation. Yes, situation. It's a situation. Okay, so we were in the office and now we were in the field working. And I think this co-worker said something that was very demeaning to another co-worker. And the tensions were rising. That was the situation. So the action and our task in a T, what was your responsibility? Okay, so no, you also a co-worker, but at that moment you felt like, stepping in to calm situations down. What I said, to de-escalate situations. What I said, to what my example class say, maybe uncle police that uncle army. What I said, but maybe what is will be a case. I am in any police, maybe a question. Look, I said, you remember when you joined the cadet? But I didn't hear something can say, bro. You joined the cadet, and that time joined the cadet, then like maybe I was superintendent or be before, and then you being a good person, and you stepped in, you talk to the supervisor or the superintendent, and then you also talk to your fellow soldier and your fellow cadet member, and then you were able to de-escalate the problem, and that would be your task. Then action, specific action being not taken here by talking to both sides and as separating the two people from each other and then talking to them. And then the action I would take here. Then result was like, okay, ABA, we separate them. You prevented a huge fight. It is also, I said, creative scenarios, I said, we have Wood movie, and there's a wood to be creative of a cabinet and all the way, wow. So creative stories, tell them your truth. At that moment, that's your own truth. What's all I say, Joe? Yeah, it's another. That's so creative stories. But creative stories, America, you want the how on bet you, and from which now the idea kakra at all. Nice. So subscribe to Coco Care Medication YouTube channel. Every now and then I post math videos, chemistry videos, and sometimes I record some of my conversations, my phone calls on live. So yeah, somewhere in Indiana, USA. That's what you are seeing right now. Yeah. So open so yes a ship dealer. Ship dealer. Oliver Kahn ship dealer there. What say? Who now the ship back Ghana? But anyway, true. But I don't know. That's what we can try. A quiet down. So I did for you. Can try a quiet down. Yeah. It's also what do you now kind of a lab work yeah. Okay. Yeah, lab work there, and like technical questions, and you already know what to expect. Ever say, okay, you man HPLC, and SCM, and stereo microscopy, and okay, use NMR, FTR, whatever instrument I use, you can predict the, technical question now. You be say, how do you analyze a sample with HPLC, and how do you troubleshoot when you have a problem? You can predict the questions. And somebody can say, how do you troubleshoot that? You have to create the scenario, create the situation. Well, situation like us, okay, one time you were working in the lab and they brought a sample. This sample was so very difficult to analyze. Why? Because the sample was impure, it was messed up, it has so many fractions and so many elements in it. And then that's the situation, as I said. Then action, task. Task can be what was a specific rule. Like I said, you as the HPLC guy, you were supposed to analyze it. And then you have so many things to do because the client has brought you so many samples. and then the action, specific action. But you being a smart guy, and I say you being you know how the HPLC works, so you're able to quickly assemble all the good sample preparation techniques to put down something that a bit one waiting I prepare sample no for analysis. And then you did that, you know, you were able to get very great results, even though the client was not expecting to get as clean result as you got. Why? Because we know our expertise. So as I say, it's way now no can we analyze it. As a Ghana for we analyze it smoothly. We did this. No. As a casa I. Oh, quite you. Where's your casa I? Of course, we'll be in who because as well can walk with you. And I remember Obiano, a only interview and do come on. When they brought the samples, man, you were so stressed, you had so many things to do, you were, you know, multitasking here and there, and then, but you being a smart guy, you have the expertise in HPLC, you quickly assembled, you know, all the solvent that you needed, and then the sample preparation was so tricky, and the tricky cries, what can I say, tricky, so I say, was so tricky, so you had to combine dual solvent, ABR, methanol plus isopropanol or whatever, you know, something, create a story, and then you tell them the action, tell them, and then the results will be unprecedented. I also question vocabulary because the result that you got was unprecedented, so clean, so neat, the baseline was so perfect. Why I say you, it's okay, kind of say we are, then you smile and then you laugh with them, and they'll be like, man, this guy is great. But anyway, it's there. Just prep some questions and let's talk about it. What I say? All right, today, Bibiania, why? Bye. I see you folks later. I'll come on and see. I was a my friend guy later. Some more.